Every morning I get up to fill up my balls with big buckwheat pancakes and 5 whole eggs scrambled with butter.
Why not Lucas Tracy MMA versus Nick Diaz? Dude, I'm not even kidding. If the UFC wanted me to fight Nick Diaz, I would. I would obviously have to try to win. Otherwise, I would just get my ass beat. But that's the level of competition you got to give Nick Diaz at this point. Someone that's in their prime, that has rusty kickboxing, that's probably going to lose. But still, it's like, all right, well, at least he's not fighting a killer like Vicente Luque. At least he's not fighting an active UFC fighter. You put him up against a guy like me. I would, because guess what? It's a win-win. He beats me? It's expected. A former UFC fighter beat me in a fight. It's expected. And he's an old man. And, it's a feel-good moment. I beat him. I take it easy. I take him down. I wrestle. I don't try to knock him out. I leg kick him. Maybe he wraps me up in a submission. Fair enough. I get submitted. But it's a win-win. I also wouldn't be scared of him. Listen, I wouldn't want to KO him. So I would go in there and I would try to pick and prod with teeps and side kicks and leg kicks, and I would take him down. And if he subs me, okay, great. I would literally do it so he can get a win. And if I win, I win. I win, but I would have a smart game plan, and I'd be like GSP. You would get finished? Oh, I know I would lose. I have like a 90% chance to lose that fight. But I think 90% is fair. I think I have a 10% chance to beat Nick Diaz with a wrestling heavy game plan. GSP wrote the blueprint. Not zero. Come on, not zero. Maybe like 95%. He has. He's an older guy. Obviously, in his prime, I have no chance, but he's an older guy. I think that my physicality and speed would throw him off a bit. You lose to Nick Diaz 100% of the time, even if he starts the fight asleep. That's BS. That's not true. If he starts the fight asleep, I don't lose to Nick Diaz. That's such BS. You know it's BS too. Come on. If he starts the fight asleep, I would fucking get him out of there easily. Stop. 98 is the worst I'll accept. That's being disrespectful, but I'll accept it. 98 is the closest thing to disrespect to where I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll see it. There's no worse chance. He doesn't have a 99% chance to beat me right now. I'm not Robbie Lawler. I don't need to be Robbie Lawler. I would fucking use my speed and footwork to kick him on the outside and blast double leg him and hold him down because he's a weak old man. Now, he probably submits me. I'll give him a 98% chance to win. Dude, just because I think I have a 2% chance to beat Nick Diaz at his oldest and worst ever is not a brag. Nick Diaz in his prime 100% of the time beats me. Nick Diaz not now 98% of the time beats me. It's just that he's older and worse than he ever has been. And he has no chin. He's slow. Doesn't even know where he is. He beats me. He subs me. He would outbox me. He's tough. But he's not more durable than I am these days. He's not more durable than I am these days. I'm sorry. He's just not. Maybe when it comes to taking leg kicks, fair. Maybe when it comes to taking body shots, fair. Not when it comes to a big punch on the chin. I have a better chin than Nick Diaz right now. Yeah, blast double leg. I frickin', run a double leg down the pipe. He's 6'1". How tall are you? I'm 5'8", but I'm fast and explosive and strong. Who the fuck taught you blast double? I've learned blast double leg on day one. Diaz would win even if he does that on the ground taunt versus Silva the whole time. No, he would not. He would not. Listen, actually, fair enough. He could do the taunt, and I wouldn't be able to capitalize off of it. But that doesn't change the fact that I have a decent chance compared to my chance versus Nick Diaz in his prime. Okay? He is more beatable now than he was in his prime by a lot. Straight up. I'm not 5'5". I'm 5'8". All right? I'm 5'8". 98 fights you guys have to see Nick Diaz beat me. 98 fights you have. I'm not saying I beat this guy. Listen, you asked me, do I think I beat Nick Diaz? No. The answer is no. If you asked me, okay, how many times would it take you to get one win? I'd say maybe 99. On the 99th try, I might be able to get one. If I were to fight this guy 99 times, I think I would have one of those be a win at this point. With Nick Diaz right now. Do you have training footage? I don't right now. I don't have any right now. I probably can find some. Dude, I'm just talking about the version of Nick Diaz today, guys, and I still don't have a great chance. Nick probably weighs 180 in the cage. What do you weigh? Yeah, that's the thing. He's just gotten smaller. Like, he's not as good of an athlete. How old is he? I'd probably weigh 175 in the cage. I wouldn't want to come in that much lighter than him. He's 40, dude, and he's like an old 40 because he's trained a lot. He's gotten injured over the course of his career. He's sparred a lot. He's done a lot of drugs. You guys are acting like I'm saying I just beat Nick Diaz in a fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 2 out of 100. Minus 2 out of 100. Relax, little bro. A one-armed Staffed Schnell kills you. One-armed Staff Schnell, no. I'm sorry. At that point, I win. Sorry. Nope. He has a good chance. He has a good chance, but I take 50 of those. 50 of those out of 100. The way you beat someone like DIAZ is by playing the yo-yo game, pretending to be slow and plotting, and then just explode out of nowhere and catch them off guard. True. Exactly. Listen, DIAZ would beat me up. He would outbox me at range. He would kick me. He would outbox me. He'd beat me up. He would KO me. He would sub me. I'm just saying 2 out of 100 times. I think I could catch him with a good shot or take him down. And if I take him down, I lose. So maybe I have to knock him out. I'd have to knock him out. And I think 2 out of 100 times I could maybe do it. If I land one big gnarly shot. BJ Penn was getting beat by some bouncer. Okay? This is the version of Nick DIAZ that BJ Penn was when he got beat by the bouncer. You have pillow hands, you couldn't rock match Schnell. All right. That's just not true. A Hawaiian bouncer. Yeah, he may have been huge. I actually don't know how big the guy was. He probably was tough. Listen, the bouncer was probably tougher than me, but my point is, like, Nick DIAZ is not a good fighter anymore. Nick DIAZ, I hope you guys know this, wouldn't be a champion in Cage Warriors. Nick DIAZ wouldn't even be like a top 5 fighter in Cage Warriors in his own division. I hope you guys understand that. The people in Cage Warriors would beat my ass. Nick DIAZ would get his ass whooped in Cage Warriors. He would get his ass kicked in amateur MMA promotions by a lot of fighters. We're talking about an older version. This is not the Nick DIAZ. He's not a good representation of what he's been in his career. We're not talking about the real Nick DIAZ. We're talking about the current, past his prime, old, washed up Nick DIAZ. It's not something to brag about being able to win 1 out of 100 times. You guys won't even give me 1 out of 100. That's crazy. I hope at some point you actually spar with DIAZ and he sub. I agree that he subs me. Like, I'm literally saying 99% of the time he TKOs me or subs me. I do not think I could do well against him most of the time. I just think 1 out of 100, I win. If you say, Lucas, do you think you beat Nick DIAZ in a fight? I'd say no. If you say, okay, do you think you could never beat him? I'd say, well, maybe if you give me 100 tries, I win 1. If you ask me, do you think you win 1 out of 100 against Marlon Vera? I'd say no. He's too tough. No, I don't beat him. Corey Sandhagen, no. Umar, no. Vicente, no. Nick DIAZ in his prime, no. Do you think you beat the 41-year-old washed-up Nick DIAZ that can't take a punch? Maybe 1 out of 100. I don't think I could beat him. It's just, I'm saying 1 out of 100. That's not, I could beat him. I don't want someone to agree with me. I don't need people to agree with me. I just want to make it clear that I do not think I could beat Nick DIAZ in a fight today. I don't. I'm just saying if you give me 100 chances, I think I could maybe win 1. All right? That's all I'm saying. Don't need you to agree. That's all I'm saying. But don't be like, Lucas, you think you could beat him? I don't think I could beat him. People on Street Beefs would beat Nick DIAZ. Street Beefs vets. Street Beefs vets would beat Nick DIAZ, guys. Street Beefs veterans. Lucas, we need sparring footage to scale your skill. Okay, maybe on my prediction video for the next card, we'll do some heavy bag work. I don't have like sparring footage. You guys think I was like filming my sparring sessions? Like, yeah, we got to film this one to critique it. Like, I wasn't competing, bro. I was just sparring. How do you do against James Vick? I probably lose, but I could KO him. I think I have a better chance to KO him than Nick DIAZ. You would get put out cold in the Street Beefs? I might. Depends on who I'm fighting. I'm not. But those people train. There's plenty of people that train that could kill me. That could like knock me out. That's not really crazy. I'm not training actively. If I had been training consistently for the last 6 years, it'd be different. But I haven't. You think you could beat Death Sentence from Street Beefs? Death Sentence? I don't know. That's the guy that screams? I don't know. If he actively trains, probably not. Nick DIAZ fighting would be really wrong. All right? Keep him away from the cage. I mean, literally, I could probably take him out at this point just based on, youth, speed, explosiveness. So let's not have him in the cage, bro.